Mary Lee, thanks for letting us come back and see you in your practice at work. Will you bring us up to speed on exactly where we are right here with Jill?
Yes. This patient has had a first round of permanent color placed in her eyebrows, which we did about a month ago. You can see she's got a little bit of permanent color here. Today we're doing a second round, which we always do with every patient, to go back in and fill in the details a little bit and sort of make sure that the lines are perfect and that she's getting the exact shape that she wants.
Like an artist.
Yes, very much.
Great.
So I'm going to let you guys just watch for a few minutes so that you can see a little bit about how this actually goes, and you can see that the patient tolerates it very well.
Yeah, I appreciate that. We'll try not to get in your way. I see you've got all your...
Yeah, it's okay. As long as you don't touch anything that's covered, we're good.
Okay.
Feel free to ask any questions that you want.
Great.
We've mixed a color for her that is very closely related to her hair color.
Okay.
The pigments that we use, of course, are used only for permanent makeup, and so we've kept track of the color that we used a month ago. We've got that same color mixed up again, and we're going to add a little bit of that back in today. She and I have spent a little time discussing exactly what it is that she wants, and so
ahead of time
we're going to make it happen.
Right. And what was that you used? Alcohol to just clean the spot?
Actually, I just used a little topical numb cream that she's had on for about 30 minutes.
Okay.
And this is a soft tap pen. I start putting a little bit of the color back in. She'll have a little bit of discomfort with the first round. But then after I go back and add a little bit of a second numbing medicine, she'll not feel it hardly at all. And you can ask her how uncomfortable it is.
On a scale of 1 to 10, Jill?
It doesn't hurt.
0.
And the nice thing about this technique is that we're able to sort of actually draw in hair strokes that look a lot more natural than the typical sort of penciled in look.
Oh.
So I'll show you.
So you create an eyebrow.
So we actually create hair strokes. It's more like sketching than tattooing.
Ah.
So you can see where I've put you can zero in on that if you want. Remove this
Can you
light.
move that light? Yeah.
You can move in close and see those first 5 or 6 strokes there.
Yeah. It's really building, isn't it? You're an artiste.
We're going to do a little more here and then let you get a closer look.
How many visits does it take in general?
2 treatments. And I sometimes like people to come in just to talk about it the first visit. To make sure that they know what to expect and to make sure I understand what it is they want. But the actual treatment times, we just need 2 treatments.
And then it lasts for?
On most people, about 3 years. Some people a little bit longer, other people a little bit shorter amount of time before they need to have it sort of redone. The color that's on the face tends to go away a lot faster than the color on the rest of the body because the skin of the face turns over a little faster. So...
Yeah, never considered that. But 3 years, that's a long time.
3 years is a good long time, yeah.
Is it the convenience factor that is the most appealing? You don't have to spend...
Her?
Anybody.
What do you think, Jill?
Yes, it is.
To wake up with some brows, not have to get up first thing and put makeup on before you run to the grocery store or whatever.
Yeah, I think I saw something that you posted one time about 20 minutes, 30 minutes here or there, and over the life of the brow would be hours.
Right.
That you saved.
Days. Yeah. So now we're going to go over here.
See, I just comb my hair and head on out. That's the over to Bass Pro Shop, and then
You're good to go.
spend the day. Yeah.
So by the time we use a couple different numb creams, this really is easily tolerated.
Yeah, and you can tell the difference from where you started as well.
And there is a good bit of artistry with any tattooing. And every set of eyebrows, of course, is different. Not only color, but shape and size. So I try really hard to make sure I have the patient give me a good idea of what they want. I'll often have them come in with their brows drawn on, as she did today, so that I get a look at what it looks like when it's perfect to her.
Oh, so Jill herself, you let her do the lines and the angle, and
yes. So she comes in with her pencil color, and with it done exactly the way she wants it, because a picture's worth 1,000 words.
Yeah, absolutely.
Once I can see exactly what it is that she wants, then it makes it a lot easier for me to recreate.
Yeah, no guesswork at all.
Yeah.
That's great.
Yeah.
I'd have never anticipated that. That's why you're the professional.
Well, thank you. Mm-hmm. And this training is not easy to find. There aren't a lot of soft tap instructors across the country.
What do they call it?
This technique is called soft tap. It's really the oldest form of tattooing with a handheld group of needles. My instructor's out of Virginia, and I go back and meet with her periodically just for tips and training. We try very hard to keep everything covered during the procedure so that everything is clean. Her skin is cleaned carefully before we start, and everything that I touch is covered. Everything that we use on the patient is disposed of immediately afterwards. So we decrease risk of infection or...
Yeah, I see there's an art and a science to this. That's very good.
Okay, so Jill, why don't you take a look at that? You got that there in your lap? I do. You can see if we're on the right track here.
It looks good.
It really does. Get a little closer.
Looks real good.
So she's got a little more numb cream on there right now that's getting her even a little more numb, so that when I go back over it's even less uncomfortable. Anything about it you don't like?
No.
Okay, what I think we should do is do a little more here.
Yes.
And then give that a little more smoothness out through there.
Yes.
You okay with that?
Mm-hmm.
The left one's really looking good though. I'm not going to have to do a whole lot on that. Good.
Yes.
So it's good to let the patient watch as we go. And
Is the left your left or her left?
it's always her left.
Gotcha.
Um,
So you can see that one's a little more full than the other one.
mm-hmm.
Okay.
And so she watches as I go and makes suggestions, and that way she's not totally surprised when she sits up. She knows what she's getting. And that also helps me.
Yeah, because it's a communication is vital. You've got to make sure you're on the same page. That's great.
Yeah, it's a little nerve-wracking to put a tattoo on someone's face that's going to be there for 3 years. You want to make sure that they're happy with it. Can you see exactly what I'm doing with this needle, Don? Get as close as you want so you can kind of see what I'm doing.
Oh, yeah, I got it now. Huh, that's pretty slick.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's kind of tough with the light on the camera, but it's...
I can take the light away for a minute.
We get the idea. Oh, yeah, that's 100% better. One hair at a time.
Mm-hmm.
Pretty good stuff.
And it, you want it to be very subtle, so.
Yeah, natural contour.
hard to do that.
Got it where she wants it.
Mm-hmm. Am I hurting you, Jill?
No, ma'am.
Not at all?
Mm-mm.
Tell the truth now.
Oh, I am.
Mm-hmm. How's it looking?
It looks excellent.
Good. Is it going to be good to use, you think?
Oh yeah, fantastic.
Good. So we have lots of people who come in and have this done. Frequently, by the time ladies reach their 40s, their brows have begun to thin a little bit, or maybe they have thinned themselves purposely over the years. And sometimes they don't come back. I've actually had people who have shaved them, at some point in their past, and they will not come back. And then, of course, another issue for liner is that it gets harder and harder to be able to see to get your liner on. And people love to be able to get up in the morning and take off and not have to worry about whether those things are done.
Yeah, that would be, to me, that would be one of the biggest benefits of it.
Mm-hmm.
Saving time.
Mm-hmm. Huge time saver. And
But it looks really good, too. That's the thing.
Yeah, if it looks really natural, that's really important, I say. So let's see how it looks this time around. Get in close on that, Tom.
Yeah.
Does it have something like from out here?
Yeah, that's good.
Cool. Alright, so I'm going to put... I want you to go and look at that. See if you want me to do a little more on that side. If I put in the active feeling. Might need a little more consistency right out here. What do you think?
Yeah, just a little more.
Just a little right there. How's the inside? That looks good. Does it need to be thicker?
Maybe just a little right there.
Okay.
Just a little there.
Let's do it. Looks good. Thank you.
Yeah, it really does.
I like it.
Mm-hmm.
I think you're right about that, though. Just a little more build up there, and it'll be a perfect match, I think.
Mm-hmm.
It's good to have a good subject, too, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Starting with the right raw material.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, some people are just easy to make look good.
There you go. So what do people have to do to get in to have an appointment? Just call and schedule a consultation to talk about it?
Just come in and let's talk. Kind of give them an idea about what I can do. Give them an idea about what the procedure is like, what the cost is like. And then they tell me when they want to start. Pretty much all there is to it.
And so each visit is about the same length of time?
We always schedule about an hour to an hour and 15 minutes for the procedure because I like to use a lot of topical numb, and I like for people to have plenty of time to get numb before we start working. And
Oh, so the prep takes a little while.
mm-hmm. And I just don't want to ever be rushed. This is very artistic, and I like to be able to take my time and, you know, be able to make it match as carefully as I can. And I mean, you know, once you've made a wrong move, it's kind of too late.
Right.
So once the pigment's in the skin, so it's very important to take my time and do it as carefully as I can. So having a little extra time takes the pressure off of me not to think about the next patient.
Gotcha. So Jill, from your perspective, does it feel good to have that, to know you're going to have that permanent look all the time?
It's the best thing I've ever done.
No kidding?
Yes, it's wonderful.
Take a look at it.
Yeah, I thought there might be. So when the red dissipates after a while, it just...
Yeah, I mean, it's
It's
red
back
just
normal.
from wiping and, you know. What do you think?
It
Is it good?
It looks natural, you know? I mean, like, you couldn't tell. If I wasn't here, I wouldn't know. Because, like, I've seen some other people that you've worked on, and I had no idea until y'all told me.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, that's part of the difference.
The left one, right there in the corner, right here. Does it need to be darker, or is it just because it's just fresh? The rest of it.
It's just because I haven't gone back in to fill it in
Okay.
yet. Yeah, but I want to make sure you're happy with the
I
right
love
side
it.
before I put any Aquaphor on there.
I love it.
Okay, good. Let me
It
just
looks
put
good.
a little Aquaphor on, and then we'll go
Well,
to this side.
I do like, personally, I do like the fact that you do that a little bit along the way, getting feedback along the way. It makes a lot of difference.
Mm-hmm. Because, you know, patients come in a lot of times and say, well, tell me what you think looks good. What I think looks good really doesn't matter.
Not with
So
their...
sometimes it's a combined effort, but I want to most importantly make sure that they get what they are looking for.
Right, right.
And that takes a lot of artistry too, because, like I said, every single set of brows are different.
Absolutely unique. Everybody's different. Contours of their face, texture of their skin, I would imagine. Right?
Yeah. Have you gotten enough close up? Really close up that you
I think so.
that you need? Okay. You want to ask me anything else?
I can't think of anything else. Jill, you got anything that comes to mind that you
Or
think other
anything
people
that
would want to
you,
know?
Yeah, that you think somebody might want to know, or that you have learned about this?
It's just wonderful getting up and not having to, the older you get, not having to design your eyebrows, because like she said, they fade with age.
Right, so you have to do this every day,
Every day.
what you're saying, but now you don't
Right.
have to.
Right.
And the
it's just-
procedure itself, what surprised you about the procedure?
surprised me.
Because you were a little bit nervous about it, I think. Were you more nervous about that it was going to hurt, or were you more nervous about what it might look like?
What it might look like.
So
But-
were you happily pleased, happily surprised about that?
Yes. And what it looks like the day of, it gets better day 2.
Mm-hmm.
It matures kind of.
Yes.
Gotcha.
I wished I'd have done it 5 years ago. I love it.
Well, I think it looks great. I mean, it fits your face. It's the right width and taper. So, you know, from a man's perspective, it looks great.
Thank you.
Most importantly, from across the room, you know, it looks absolutely natural, and
Well, like I
from
said, when
3
you,
inches away, it looks absolutely natural.
yeah,
which is-
when
is
I've
really
seen
cool.
other people that you've worked on up close and talking with them, it never occurred to me that they weren't completely real. Makes quite a difference. I mean, I was shocked, and I'm pretty observant usually because I've been looking at women for 60 years.
Well, and you know, our eyes really, we use our eyes
Matter,
a lot,
right?
and when we're communicating, they're the focal point. So, in order to have your eyes sort of pop with a little color, it does make a lot of nice difference for people. there aren't very many people in Fayetteville trained to do this type of technique.
That's right. You're unique.
Well, it's fun. It's like playing makeup, and I enjoy it. And after several years, I've been doing it now for about 8 years. I'm comfortable enough to offer it to people, and people like to have it done, so it works out.
Yeah, that's a good match. And there is for you, I'm sure, a sense of satisfaction in every completion because it's right there and it's done and it looks good. And
well, and I tell you what gives me the most satisfaction is when the patient sits up and they smile and they're very happy. That's
the best.
What really gives me that's the best feeling. I had a little lady in here the other day. She was, I think, 72 and had absolutely no brows whatsoever. And she was a little nervous, but she, completely trusted me. And after I did a little bit, I sat her up to have her take a look, and she started crying. She was so happy, and she was so surprised at how natural it looked. And that, that's why I do this.
That's touching.
Yes, that's why I do this.
Were you surprised?
It's not the first time it's happened, but it just reminded me of
how important it is.
Of why I do it.
It makes a difference.
It makes a difference
in people's lives.
In people's lives. And it gives women confidence about themselves, and that's what I love.
Fantastic. Well, I appreciate you guys letting me sit in on this. Been very educational for me as well. Jill, I appreciate it. Looks very good. And Mary Lee, thanks again.
Sure. Anytime.